The principal mission of the customer relationship professional is to generate loyalty by consistently gaining commitment from customers. When this is done well, you are strengthening the relationship with your client. I'm sure you remember that from our discussion of Act 1, where we set a commitment objective.
What's surprising is that a recent study found that 90% of all CRPs simply don't consistently ask for commitment during their customer interactions. Since the principal mission of the CRP is to generate customer loyalty by consistently gaining commitments from customers, it appears that 90% of CRPs are not performing their primary role. Let's review some examples and then discuss why more than half of our profession skips this act.
Well, this looks real good. Is this something I can keep?
Sure. Why don't you look it over and get back to me? Or I can get back to you if you'd like.
Good idea. Why don't I think it over and let you know what I decide, okay?
Great. Thanks for your time.
Well, we could probably afford this.
The price is attractive, isn't it? In addition, it's the most dependable product in its class. The urethane coating on this system features a very smooth surface. This eliminates problems associated with cleaning and maintaining it. Would you also like to hear about our gasket making capabilities? We're a leader in that area as well.
No, that's okay. I'll tell you what, let me just kick this around a little bit with my staff and I'll get back to you.
Sure. If they have any questions, have them give me a call. Here's my card.
3 things come to mind when we discuss why CRPs don't ask for commitment. They don't plan for it, they miss opportunities for it, they don't have a procedure for it. Remember when we covered Act 1 and described the relationship between Act 1 and Act 7? Your commitment objective from Act 1 determines your commitment question in Act 7.
When we have a commitment objective firmly established in our minds, it becomes a primary focus for us. We win loyalty or lose loyalty in each customer contact based on accomplishing our commitment objective. Perhaps that's why CRPs frequently ignore setting commitment objectives. They feel that way, they never lose. Well, of course, they're fooling themselves. If you don't plan to win, you are actually planning to lose by default. Do you ever miss buying signals from your customer? You're not alone. 100% of all CRPs miss buying signals at one time or the other. Buying signals represent opportunities to ask for commitment when they come at the right time. During Act 6, just before or any time after the price or time is quoted. Buying signals sound like,
This looks real good.
We could probably afford this.
What's the next step?
How much is it?
When can I get it?
Now this looks like what I'm looking for.
Will you be able to complete this before the deadline?
Is this in stock?
There are 2 instances when you should always ask for commitment. When you quote price or time, always ask for commitment. And during Act 6, when you hear a buying signal as a response to your TFBR's reaction question, you need to make a decision if it is time to ask for a commitment. Customers today are cautious about being manipulated. Some CRPs have been trained on techniques that appear to trick, trap, or manipulate the customer. Here are some examples.
Does your solution include a warranty?
Would you buy it if it did, Bob?
Would Tuesday at 2 or Wednesday at 10 be better? Oh boy, there's that old alternative choice routine again.
Okay, these are all the reasons to buy it. Now, can you think of any reasons not to buy it?
What kind of sales gimmick is this? Do I look like somebody's fool?
Act 7, Ask for Commitment, is a logical conclusion to the communications process that is taking place between the CRP and the customer. It is not a time to pressure, manipulate, trap, or trick your customer. We recommend a very direct and straightforward Ask for Commitment procedure. It involves 3 simple steps. First, summarize the features and benefits of your solution that your customer agreed they liked and quote the price or investment of time. Then ask, how does what we've discussed sound to you? And if you get a positive response, ask, would you like to go ahead with this?
This is a close-ended question. It is answered with a yes or a no. At this point, you must be patient and wait for a response. If you speak first, you will lose. Do not bring up another subject or ask any additional questions. Wait for an answer. If your customer says yes, move on to Act 8, confirm the commitment. If your customer says no, they will include additional information that will be in the form of a stall or an objection. We'll cover these next, but first, let's demonstrate the use of Act 7 in our previous examples.
Well, this looks real good. Is this something I can keep?
Sure. Let me summarize what this added service will do for you. Because technology is becoming such an important part of your business, having access to our team of experts will help you stay focused on building your company. We'll make sure you're maximizing the use of the new technology you're implementing. You'll have unlimited access to our tech support team for an investment of only $850 per month. How does what we've talked about sound to you?
It sounds like a really good service.
Would you like to go ahead with it?
Yes, I would.
Well, we could probably afford this.
You could begin enjoying the advantages of the dependability, style, and easy cleaning features of the urethane coating for an investment of only $495. How's what we've talked about sound to you?
I think it would help us a lot.
Would you like to go ahead with it?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I think I would.
As you can see, asking for commitment helps the customer make the final decision, the time to decide. It is the natural conclusion to a well-orchestrated customer conversation. Asking for commitment is not an if, but a when type question because of the decision process we have helped our customer make. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't completely convince our customers and we hear what's called a stall or an objection when we're asking for commitment. This doesn't necessarily mean the opportunity is lost.
When you ask for commitment and a positive response is not given, you will hear what is commonly called a stall or an objection. We like to make the distinction between a stall and an objection because they mean different things. An objection means there is a specific reason why your customer is not intending to decide yet. Objections always relate to one of the customer's 5 decisions. As an example, they want to challenge you on your price. They prefer the competitor's company or CRP. Or they are questioning the need to own the solution that you're offering.
A stall means that your customer is not quite convinced yet, but they do not have a specific reason for not deciding. Stalls may sound different, but they all mean the same thing. I'm not quite convinced yet. Here are some examples.
I want to think it over.
Why don't you call me tomorrow?
Call me next week. We want to mull this thing over.
I'm sorry, I haven't checked the references yet.
Send me a proposal and a brochure.
We want to sleep on it.
Call me after the holidays.
I need to check with my accountant.
Well, leave your stuff and I'll run it by the staff.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Let me check with the board.
Let me run it up the flagpole with the management team.
We'll keep your proposal on file and call you in a couple weeks.
I'm going on vacation the 3rd week in June, and I'll be really busy the following week. And the next week, I think we have some meetings. Oh, and my niece has a recital. I'm out of town for 3 or 4 weeks, then more vacation. Well, my daughter is pregnant and should be due just about then. Let's see. Call me next September 31st.
Because your customer does not have a specific reason why they're stalling, it's not appropriate to challenge the stall. For instance, by saying things like,
What do you mean? You want to think about it? What is it you want to think over? The integrity of my company or my personal integrity?
I told you everything there is to know already.
Challenging a stall forces the customer to think up some reasons why they are hesitating. This applies pressure on the customer, which we want to avoid when we are trying to gain commitment. We prefer persuasion to pressure. The correct response is to give them what they are asking for. I'm not convinced yet. Give me more reasons to make a positive decision. Remember in Act 6, Present the Solution, we recommended saving a TFBR for later. Here is where you use the new TFBR. The process works like this. Restate the features your customer liked from the TFBRs you discussed in Act 6, the Present the Solution Act. Add the new TFBR. Then ask for commitment again using the same or a similar commitment question. Let's watch how this works.
Would you like to go ahead with this?
I'd like to think this over for a while. Could you call me in a couple of days?
I understand, Bob. You liked the fact that my solution is compatible with your current system. And I know you appreciate the quality you'll have with our approach. You also agreed that our product's capability is perfect for your application. In addition, you mentioned how difficult it was to handle warranty claims with your current supplier. With the purchase of an upgrade to your system, warranty claims are processed online in a matter of seconds. And if any questions arise, you'll have access to our helpline that guarantees 30-minute response time, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. This means faster claims processing and significantly less inconvenience for you and your staff. How do you see this helping you out, Bob?
Well, we've had a lot of challenges handling our claims with the other equipment we've purchased. My staff complains about it often. If your claims department is available 24/7, that would be a real help.
That's right. Would you like to go ahead and get the upgrade to your system installed?
Sure, let's get it.
That's how Action Selling CRP suggests that you handle a stall. The customer is not quite convinced yet, so you give them more reasons to decide by adding another TFBR. Now, an objection is something you can and must deal with. They relate to one or more of the decisions that the customer makes. Objections sound like,
your price is too high.
I want to look at a competitor.
I prefer the competition's product.
We don't need the product until later this year.
We're not sure if this product is a good match for us.
There are, of course, many other objections, but you may have noticed they all have one thing in common. Every objection you hear will relate back to one of the 5 customer decisions. They're not convinced on one or more of them. If objections occur, you must gather more information and present a solution to the objection. Why do objections occur? To explain this, let's look at how Action Selling CRP defines an objection. An objection is a customer's response to an unasked question.
the reason we define an objection this way is because all the objections we just listed could have been uncovered during Act 3 of Action Selling CRP when we ask the best questions instead of during Act 7. If we follow the questions map more completely and determine the needs, issues, competition, budget, decision influences, and time frame, the objections we hear at the end of our customer conversation could have been discovered at the beginning of our conversation. The significance of this is that we would have all of our company and solutions capabilities available to use in Acts 5 and 6 to deal with objections. When we hear objections during Act 7 instead of Act 3, we have already spent most of our company's and solutions ammunition. Okay, sometimes we make communication errors and are faced with objections to deal with during Act 7. So what do? The correct approach to dealing with objections is to, of course, return to Act 3 and clarify the situation. Then move to Act 4 and summarize the objection as a need. During Act 5 and 6, we present a tieback, feature, benefit, and reaction that effectively deals with objections.
After receiving a positive reaction from your new TFBR, you are in a position to gain commitment. Ask again, would you like to go ahead with this? Or simply state, let's set this up. Let's take a look at an example where the CRP uncovers the objection after she hears a stall and then uses the objection handling strategy to help her gain commitment.
Would you like to go ahead with the upgrade?
Oh, I'll call you tomorrow. I need to think about it.
I see. Nick, you liked the capacity of the new system with its added speed, and you appreciated the ease of operation, and the fact that unlike your current method, you won't have to worry about problems caused by poor sealing of your packages. In addition, you mentioned that better access to shipping data was important to you. The new upgrade includes a software interface that stores data that can be accessed using any device, including mobile. This means you never have to worry about delays caused by access to the data regardless of where you or members of your team are located. How important would that be in your opinion?
Well, that is always a major concern. There are many times when we're in the facility and unable to look up shipping data quickly. Mobile access would sure help out in that regard.
Would you like to go ahead and order the upgrade?
Well, to be honest, Jen, I've gotten a bid from another competitor for less money.
I understand, Nick. How much was it?
Well, it was about $2,000 less. Your price is $6,200, and I think they were $4,200.
Nick, we've done quite a lot of business together. What advantages do you see in placing your order with me?
Well, I have always been satisfied with your support and service. Don't get me wrong, Jen. I'd prefer to get it from you if all things were equal.
So, you prefer to work with me because of your satisfaction with my company's service, but the price is a little higher than the competitor, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, then here's what I propose, Nick. Add the upgrade to your other purchases that we have in your customer financing package. When you pay for it over 24 months, the difference in price over the competitor's option is less than $100 per month. Having us support this upgrade along with the rest of your system is worth $100 per month, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. I guess when you look at it that way, a single source of support is always the best way to go.
Let's go ahead and set it up then.
Okay. When can we get it installed?
To summarize our discussion on stalls and objections, consider these points. If you don't ask for a commitment, you will never hear a stall. If you don't ask for commitment after hearing a stall, you'll never hear an objection. Stalls should not be challenged. The customer is simply saying, "I'm not quite convinced yet. Show me more value." And the way to handle an objection you hear when asking for commitment is to return to Act 3 and work your way back to Act 7. The best solution to handling objections is to anticipate them with your Act 3 questions in the first place.
In our next and last module, we will look at how you confirm the commitment once you've gained it. And we'll discuss a method for reviewing your customer interactions so you are assured that you'll learn from every one of them.